So many of us are complaining about America's youth. This needs to change, that needs to change. When I was a kid, well, listen, I got something encouraging for you. Get the kids around, your teenagers, because I want to introduce you to Brilyn Hollyhand. Brilyn, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's walk through this story. You started the Truth Gazette when you were 11. What is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So at the age of 11, I got interested in politics at 10. So it was a 2016 presidential election. I was 10 years old. I was in third, fourth grade at the time, and I started watching the debates. And I was like, this is interesting. I kind of like this. Most people are trying to stay away from the debates. They don't like that type of stuff. The big Trump-Hillary debates going on. I kind of enjoyed it. I was watching that. Well, that was the age of 10. You're on November. It wasn't until July of 2017. I just turned 11, and I said, if the adults are going to do something, I'm going to have to step up and do something. So I decided to found the Truth Gazette in an effort to fight the fake news media. So I started at the age of 11. I'm 16 now. 5 years later, we're celebrating the 5-year anniversary this year. We've gone all over the country. We've interviewed over 50 people, top political figures, Donald Trump Jr., Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, people here at this conference. We're doing interviews this weekend, so it's an honor to be on the show and great to be celebrating the 5-year anniversary with you.
All right, so the Truth Gazette, what is that? So help people understand what that is.
Absolutely. So it's a conservative news service I started. So my passion's writing. I started the Truth Gazette as a newsletter. It was simply just a quick, I just learned how to use Word on my computer. I started a Word document, pecked out an article or two, and we put it out. I think it went to 7 people at first. And we've now got, tens of thousands of subscribers across the country. It's incredible. So it's grown from not just a newsletter, but actually interviews, articles. We've got a podcast, social media, that type of stuff. It's all at thetruthgazette.com. So now, we still do the articles, but it's grown into, more, and it's evolved, through the years. So it's really an effort to fight the fake news. Stuff like you're doing here at FlashPoint, actually pushing back against the mainstream media. It's an awesome job.
Yeah. All right. So, Brilyn, I'm trying to understand what I was doing at 11 years old, and I don't think it had anything to do with politics. But how did your friends react to this when you started this?
Well, I am blessed with the best support group in the world. I call them my kitchen cabinet of, advisors and stuff like that. And my friends have been so incredibly supportive of not just what I do. Of course, you have some haters here and there. We're all familiar with haters and that type of stuff. But I've been so blessed with incredible people that are standing by my side, strong supporters. My friends get hate just like I do. They find their Instagrams and stuff like that, and they'll DM, how dare you be friends with that Brilyn Hollyhand kid, that threat to democracy. But I'm proud that they're standing with me and standing firm. And, there you lose a friend or so. But I've got my support group, and they've been with me since the beginning. And I know they'll be watching this, and I'm honored to have them with me. So I thank them and my family and my entire team of people that I can just call on, advisors. I'm like, hey, I've got a question about this, and they'll be praying for me. I texted this morning right before I came on here. I've got a group praying for me right now. So great people and a wonderful support staff I'm blessed with.
That's wonderful. All right, so let's talk about. So you went to your dad, your mom and dad, and said, hey, I got this idea. I want to do that. What did they say?
Yeah, so I started it. I think I was sitting on my grandfather's couch the first morning, and I was watching the news, and again, I just said, the adults are going to do something. I've got to step up and do it. And I was fed up. I was tired, and I literally just opened that Word document and typed an article or two. And my parents have been incredibly supportive every day since then. They've traveled, all across the country. My dad's here with me right now. My mom's, driven many, many miles with me to other states. We've flown all over the country doing stuff like this. I cannot thank them enough for their incredible support, just standing beside me, standing with me as we're doing this type of stuff. And I'm so incredibly blessed.
Yeah. I'm still stuck back at 11 years old, but okay, that's great. All right, so Brilyn, let's get into some politics.
Yes, sir.
Because you've got a unique perspective. This past midterms, the 18 to 29 crowd, you can't vote yet, but the 18 to 29 crowd voted in a huge way and voted the other direction. How are we going to reach that age group?
I think events like this, Turning Point USA does an incredible job. So one of my first ever interviews was with Charlie Kirk. It was Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens who did a sit down. I think it was 2018. I just started the Truth Gazette. Charlie had just started Turning Point USA a few years later. We were both kind of getting our companies off the ground, and I sat down with both of them. And me and Charlie have been friends ever since. I talked to him last night. He's a great guy. But doing events like this, America Fest, there's 10,000 young conservatives in this event 7 days before Christmas for a 4-day conference. That's mind-blowing. I posted a picture on my Twitter at Truth_Gazette last night of the room packed when Carrie Lake was speaking last night. It's incredible that you can get all these people to come. So there are people, there's grassroots efforts. My generation's ready for a seat at the table, and Charlie Kirk is preparing us to get that seat at the table.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so what advice do you have for us older ones that how can we make a difference in your generation? What do we need to do?
I think it's, like I said, I think it's time for my generation to get a seat at the table. So I think, conferences like this, I've traveled all over the countries doing conferences and, midterm election travel this year. I think what I'm hearing the most from people is, first of all, young people are scared to get involved in politics. It's scary. You post something on your Instagram story that you're a Trump supporter, you're going to get canceled by your friends. Your school's going to call you out. Whatever clubs you're in, they're going to cancel you. But my message to them, first of all, is do not be afraid. You will not, we'll stand with you. We'll stand beside you. There's a group of us, the young conservatives here. There's 10,000 of us here in Phoenix this week. So we will stand with you. But to your generation, it's time for us to get a seat at the table. Yeah. It's time for us to actually be able to come and give our opinion. This type of stuff trains us for that. My generation has opinions just like your generation does.
Sure.
So I think it's time, for eventually to pass the baton over in a few years, and we need to be trained and ready to do that and learn, from wisdom just like people like you, and get the honor to do stuff like this.
That's good. The understanding the generational. I get that, and I think you're absolutely right. Speaking of this event, it's not just, I see everything from 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds to grandma and grandpas and elderly as well. So it is a great cross-section of America at America Fest. What's the future? What are you going to do next?
I don't know. We'll see. Everybody's like, are you going to run for office, Brilyn? Are you running for president? I have no desire to ever run for political office. I'm not throwing out the window. I'm not that crazy to actually throw something like that out. But my passion is not necessarily in journalism, but political commentary. I like doing what I'm doing. I get to travel the country. I have the best job in the world. I get to talk to people. I'm a people person. I get to talk to you. I get to talk to people I interview. Get to talk to people that follow me and come, oh my gosh, I follow you. It's so great to meet you in person. I'm a people person, so I love doing what I'm doing right now. I want to do Tucker Carlson type things sometimes. Maybe what you do, and get to go on and really share my opinion with people and kind of help them understand what's going on in politics. Politics is a confusing world. There's been more people out there kind of giving the Christian conservative perspective of what's going on. So that's my passion right now. We'll see. I'm not going to rule anything out, but this is the 5-year anniversary of the Truth Gazette. We're going to continue to grow even further in the future. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's great. Brilyn, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. Yeah.